Hey, STEM Lab, Mr. Santella back with another Cultures of Dignity lesson. This week's lesson is about learned helplessness. Now, before we get into learned helplessness, let's quickly review dignity versus respect, because all of this ties back to dignity, treating each other with dignity. Dignity versus respect. So, dignity, inherent worth and value of every human. So, everyone has it, and everyone has the same amount. Respect, the admiration of someone's actions, traits, or accomplishments. Respect can be earned or lost, and is usually earned by going above and beyond. Learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is, using my notes here, despite having the power to change your situation, you have learned to feel helpless instead because of something in the past. So, learned helplessness is when you believe you have no control. You have this belief that failure is inevitable. No matter what you do, you're going to fail. All right. You can have learned helplessness for one thing. You can feel that I will never be good at math. You can have learned helplessness for everything. You just feel that no matter what you do, you're going to fail. And this can come from people telling you you can't do it, it's too hard for you. It can also come from you feeling that yourself and you convincing yourself of that. So, learned helplessness is just that, it's learned. So, if it's learned, we can unlearn it. We can reprogram our brain to think about things differently. So, you have experienced things that make you believe you have no control. You studied for a math test and you got an F on it, the worst grade. You failed miserably. You might think, well, I studied and I still got this bad grade. It's not worth it. I'm just not going to study anymore because no matter what I do, no matter how hard I study, I'm going to fail. So you start to think, feel, and act like you're helpless. Okay. And it's a terrible feeling. I'll tell you a super quick story. When I was in high school, I took geometry. I took it twice. The first time I took it, I failed miserably. I thought I was working hard. My teacher, Mr. Tomlinson, came to me and said, Mathis, you're not trying hard enough. You're not asking for more time. You're not asking for any help. You're trying to do this all on your own. I was in a state of learned helplessness. I was like, well, it doesn't matter what I do. I tried as hard as I could and I failed. So what's the use in even trying? I know I'm going to fail. So I have experienced this. But talking to Mr. Tomlinson, having him show me that, yeah, I might have thought I was working hard, but I really wasn't. It helped me get out of that learned helplessness and really convince myself that there were other things I could do. I could ask for more help. I could ask for more time. That helped me. And once I had that conversation with Mr. Tomlinson, geometry was cake. It was so easy because I advocated. I made sure that I was not stuck in this learned helplessness and I was asking for more help and more time, and I got it. And that helped me be super successful. That conversation has also helped me be successful in other things. It really helped build my work ethic. It really helped me see that I can do anything. I just got to find the way to do it. I got to find my way to do it. All right. So learned helplessness is this feeling that comes from a combination of experience and emotions. So I experienced failure. It made me upset. So I was just like, I give up, right? That's learned helplessness. So you may have experienced trauma that taught you that specific things are outside of your control, right? No matter how hard I study, I'm still going to fail. So why study? It's just not true, right? And you may have convinced yourself that you are powerless to change your situation. Okay. Now, sometimes this learned helplessness comes from the outside, people telling us we can't do it. You're not good enough. That feeds learned helplessness. And that's why we need to be mentally strong and tell ourselves, no, I just need to find a different way to do it. Okay. Now, you may think, I'm always going to be bad at this. So why even try? Not true. Okay. You've just got to try a different way. Learned helplessness sounds depressing. Well, it is. And that's why we have to think about it. Okay. It's a learned behavior we want to disrupt. So I'm going to talk about 3 different myths about learned helplessness. And if you can understand them and really think about them, they can help you stay out of learned helplessness. Myth number 1. Learned helplessness wants you to think negative things are forever. Nothing is forever. All right. You get in this spiral of negative thoughts, and everything you see, you find the negative in it. You don't find that positive spin. That's learned helplessness. And it can go from I'm not good at math to all of a sudden I'm not good at anything. You've got to be careful with that, right? And remember, nothing is forever. Ask yourself, is this feeling or event permanent? Why do I feel like things will always be like this? Why do I think I'll never be able to change? So those last 2 questions are about being metacognitive, and we've talked about that before, thinking about your thinking. Being super reflective and asking yourself those questions will help you stay out of learned helplessness. Myth number 2, learned helplessness wants you to think negative things will spread into everything. And that's not true, right? Just because I wasn't good in geometry didn't mean I couldn't be good in PE. I couldn't be good in art, right? They were not connected. But when you get into that learned helplessness, you feel like everything is connected, that everything is bad, and you're not going to be successful no matter what, right? That's self-handicapping. You're telling yourself, I'm not going to be successful at this. Well, then you're probably not going to be. You've already just given up. You're not going to be successful if you're giving up, okay? Ask yourself, even if it is small or it doesn't seem like it matters much, what is one thing I have control over? So important. Sit back, think about it, reflect. What do I have control over? Well, in my case, I had control over my work ethic. I had control over advocating for myself, asking for more time, going in for extra help, asking my friends who understood it to help me. I didn't do any of that. I was like, I have to do this on my own. I didn't want to ask for help, right? My pride got in the way. And pride can get in the way of getting out of learned helplessness. All right. Sometimes you got to put that away and you got to ask for help. Find a different way. Okay. It's just like GPS. GPS, you're driving and a road is closed. There's an accident. Does that mean you can't get to your destination? No. You've just got to find a different way to get there. That's what learned helplessness is trying to stop you from. Learned helplessness is like, nope, the road is closed. That's the only way you can get there. Looks like you're never going to get there. Can't have that mindset, okay? Myth number 3, learned helplessness wants you to think there's something inherently wrong with you. That's not true. Inherently means it's just you're born with it. So learned helplessness wants you to think that you're broken somehow, that you can't be fixed. Well, in the first place, you're not broken, so there's nothing to fix. You've just got to really find how you accomplish what you need to accomplish. It's different for everybody, okay? Now, tell yourself, not ask yourself, but tell yourself this: I'm worthy of love and good things, right? That reinforces that good things can happen to you and you deserve to have good things happen to you. That's the kryptonite of learned helplessness. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are temporary. They come and go, okay? So you cannot just sit there and say, well, I'm always going to feel this way. I'm always going to be a loser. I'm always going to fail. No, absolutely not. Those are feelings. They come and go, okay? And I have fundamental worth and value, dignity, right? No matter what you're successful in, no matter what you're not successful in, or no matter where you have areas of growth, and no matter what your strengths are, your dignity does not change, right? Your dignity is that foundation. So, changing your thought patterns, it isn't easy. And this is really where friends can come in. If you have a friend who you see is struggling with learned helplessness, give them that encouragement, advocate for them, right? Because sometimes it's hard to see when you're right in the middle of it. And having a good friend who can help you through that could be the key to you being successful. If I had done that when I was struggling in geometry, I guarantee I would not have had to take it twice. because I had friends who were math geniuses that would have loved to have helped me understand what I was struggling with, right? So, changing your thought patterns isn't easy, but it is possible. All right. You matter, your emotions matter, and other people matter. All right, this week, Flipgrid, Google Form. Okay, 3 questions. What is learned helplessness? What are the negative effects of learned helplessness? And what are you going to do to disrupt learned helplessness? All right, scholars, until I see you next week, have a great rest of your week. Bye.